What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode reaction of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. Today is episode 9, titled Bounty Lost. So, yes, last episode was a bit of a doozy of an episode. Of course, we saw finally Crosshair again after, I don't know, it was 5 or 6 episodes, something like that. We hadn't seen him in a little bit. It was great, the little chase with him and the rest of the batch. Some great scenes, like that whole scene with the jet engine of the ship, or the thruster, whatever. It was a really great scene. But then, of course, the big shocking reveal at the end of the episode was the return of Cad Bane, who had not... First time he's appeared, in the universe, this is his first appearance in over a year. But for us, it's the first time he's shown up in over 9 years. So that was insane. It was quite a big shocking reveal. Pretty awesome, and he's now captured Omega and going to take him back to the Kaminoans. Take her back to the Kaminoans, damn it. Taking her to the Kaminoans for their purposes and such. So now the Batch are trying to get her back, so should be exciting to see what goes down there. Also possibility, a lot of speculation that, maybe we might see that unfinished Boba Fett and Cad Bane arc from the Clone Wars. I think it's possible we probably will. I feel like we might see that happen. I feel like it's a definite possibility. I expect if Boba Fett will probably show. I don't think this episode, maybe a later episode, I don't know. Who knows? I'm just speculating here. Well, I do think the possibility we could see that arc play out, because it does help reinforce stuff about Boba Fett later on, his way axes. Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to explain, but of course it gives the dent in his helmet and other stuff, how shows him becoming the next bounty hunter of this generation, because Cad Bane was the greatest bounty hunter of this era. And Boba Fett then has become the greatest bounty hunter of his era. So it'd be cool if they do that arc so that Cad Bane leaves and Boba Fett takes his place. So all that kind of stuff. We'll just have to wait and see if that's what they do. Who knows? So yeah, with a title like Bounty Lost, it means that they'll hopefully save Omega. I'm not too sure about that yet. So we haven't watched the episode yet. So we'll have to wait and see if that's what happens if they actually do manage to save Omega this episode. So yeah. Anyways, yes, without further ado, not much else to say now. So yes, let's get into this episode now, shall we? Yeah, one thing I didn't want to say about also involving Cad Bane and just the show last time is that I think it was very cool that Cad Bane showed up. I thought it was a great reveal of how it was handled. I do hope that not every episode going forward though is just a cameo showing up, because so far it's been almost every episode. Since the meeting Sid especially, we've had a cameo at least every episode. It's alright, here's Bib Fortuna, now here's Trace and Rafa, now here's Rex, now here's Cad Bane, and before then we had a bunch of cameos like Kanan and Cutler Quain. Some I'm fine with, of course the clone related cameos, and other ones too. I hope it's not cameo every episode, because that will start to feel a bit too much. I'm fine, this kind of show, set in this era, I'm open to seeing cameos, in Rebels, they had a bunch of cameos, because they're set in those kind of eras, so cameos are possible, but I hope it's not, too much. I don't want it to happen, every freaking episode, it would get too much over time, so I'm not really sure, but, we'll see what happens in the episode, I guess, if another cameo happens, so, yeah. Also, one quick thing I want to note before I start this reaction is that I won't be here to cover next week's episode of The Bad Batch, because on next Wednesday I'm going to be going up north to my trailer for a vacation for a week and such, so I won't be here when the episode comes out. So the reaction will be late. When I come back, which will be the following Wednesday, I will record it and upload it just in time before the following episode comes out. I will be here to cover the following episode after that, which will be episode 11, but I won't be here to cover episode 10 when it comes out. So the episode 10 reaction will be late, so apologies for that, but going on vacation a little bit, so yeah, doing that. Expect that to happen sporadically a couple times throughout the summer, because I do go to my trailer a lot of times, so there'll be a couple times I might not be here to cover episodes of The Bad Batch, so just letting you all know that. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, without further ado now, let's begin. Alright, we're checking out right where we left off in the last episode, it seems.
Any sight of that bounty hunter?
The only vessel in our scanners is Crosshairs.
The bounty hunter who took her is long gone. We'll have no chance of finding them if Crosshair shoots us down.
Rear deflector shields are failing.
Make the jump.
Oh, dang, look at that ship. That's pretty cool looking.
It has been confiscated and placed in a secure compartment.
Is he still limping about the leg?
Does not respond well to prisoners who are difficult.
It's like using his leg as a walking stick.
You'll be sorry when my friends come for me.
Your friends
Can't get
are
over that
long gone.
leg with the
I made sure
walking
of
stick.
that. And don't cause any trouble.
But when will you have time to fix my leg? It is quite inconvenient. Bane, did you hear me? Mr. Bane? Mr. Bane?
Oh, great having Toto back. Seth Green.
Your personal interest in the young clone has threatened our operation enough. When the clone is returned, confine her to the sub-level facility. Once you have retrieved the genetic material needed, terminate her.
Oh, jeez. She helped her, like, her escape with the Bad Batch back at the beginning of the show. So I wonder what they would have gotten from the Need Omega
Mr. Bane
4
is
still.
very busy.
Why are they after the kid?
Because she's more valuable than we realized.
What do you mean?
Discovered she has pure first-generation DNA.
Whoa.
Huh.
While our genetic structure was modified for growth, acceleration, and obedience, Omega is a pure genetic replication.
How many clones like that exist?
To my knowledge, there's only one other. A male clone, codenamed Alpha, later referred to as Boba. Since
Oh.
he disappeared at the start.
Huh, interesting.
No, not
So-
that way.
So she's similar to, like, Boba Fett then, Generation 1. When he first said Alpha, I thought they were referring to, like, the original clone character they wanted for Clone Wars before they made Rex. Because they wanted the name originally Alpha, if I recall.
I'm only...
So she's been around since, like, the very beginning then. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, she's, like... So I guess she's, like, around, or the exact same age as Boba Fett then, like...
How long have you been working for him?
Many years. I am his trusted confidant. We are a team.
Really? It's not very nice to you.
On the contrary, my treatment is perfectly adequate.
Yeah, he's blown one of you up before.
How does your...
Oh no, she's gonna do something.
Sorry. It's only
Not-
temporary.
Not that bright, aren't you?
Now.
Are they on Camino in the daytime? Wait, where are they then? Hang on, they're not on Camino. I thought that's where it was at first. I'm like, we're seeing Camino in the daytime? Maybe it's just a upper part of Camino that we've never seen before.
Where's the kid?
Mr. Bane, she's quite obviously right there. Oh. Uh-oh.
Toto made an oopsie.
Omega? Omega, are you there? Omega! The signal's too weak to establish a direct connection trace.
Omega.
Need a relay of your position. Try to create a power surge.
There's one by a door. It looks like the one's on Tapoka City.
Maybe it's above. No, I don't think it'd be above
worked.
the
Now what?
Camino facility.
Goodbye, Crook. You're
Uh-oh.
coming with me.
Omega!
Oh no.
An unidentified ship is approaching.
Check it out.
Who's in the unidentified ship? Oh, it's a Kaminoan.
Torn Way?
He's right.
Oh shoot, it's Fennec Shan.
Fennec Shand, you got no business messing with my score.
Omega and I go way back. Don't we?
About to get a
You
bounty
lack
hunter
the
show off here.
experience to be going up against me.
I have the
Oops.
case.
Yeah, I'm not gonna end in a single gunfight like that again. Does Fennec want Omega for different reasons now or something? I thought she was like, they were both part of the Kaminoans. Like, I don't know. I'm getting a feeling
To quit, Shand.
she wants her for different reasons now or something. Oh, jeez. Just knocked him out there. What the heck's in there? What the hell?
She's in the leader system. Where in the leader system? I'm pinpointing the exact coordinates. Hang on.
What their prime minister has planned for you is far worse than why I'm here.
What does he want me for?
You already know the answer.
So she is here for different reasons than the Kaminoans.
I'm trying to help you.
You said the same thing on Pantora.
There you are. You are coming with.
Oh, he's dead. Ouch. Are those like Kaminoan bodies? What the heck is that? Looks like it. Well, the boss getting to just straight up fist fight now. Jeez. You just headbutted her with her helmet on.
Going for the flight pod.
How is this guy still alive? He took a knife to the head. Oh, jeez. Oh. Oh, boy.
Where do you think you are going?
Oh no.
You'll be sorry for me.
He's like a little like, freak. He's like, where do you think you're going? Oh, jeez. I don't know. She ain't getting far. Doesn't look like it. Oh, jeez.
Omega! You in there?
Oh, they found her. I thought she'd like land in the water for sure.
Good. You're valuable to them. More than all the other clones. Even more than us.
Omega
Oh,
was rescued by the same clones I encountered on
So it's still the
Pantora.
same
I can
Kaminoan.
track them.
As long as she is not in the hands of Lamassu, she is safe.
So she hired Fennec Shan to protect Omega from the others. Alright.
You don't have to worry. You are never going back to Kamino.
Promise?
I promise.
Aww. Alright, that was the episode then. Yeah, definitely, I feel like D. Bradley Baker probably liked this episode a lot because he didn't have to do too much voice for it. It was mostly, a lot of it was mostly just Cord Burton and Ming-Na Wen and Michelle Yang. That's what her name, that's what her actress name was, of hers, right? Yeah, Michelle Yang. It was mostly them doing the voiceover work this time around. He's probably like, ah, good, I can take a break. I've been carrying the show literally since the start. Oh, boy. I thought that was pretty cool seeing Cad Bane meet Fennec Shan. For like, they established like she's a very young bounty hunter, but she can clearly hold her own and fight a more experienced one like Cad, so that was pretty cool. It also show like that this show can tell episodes that are like, doesn't really have the bad backs that much of a focus in them, so they can work, so that's pretty cool. So that place they're on, it was like a rundown version of the cloning facility from Kamino, a version of that, on a planet that's in the daytime, which is rare, not rainy. But like, was it? I don't know where. They didn't say it was. They said it was in a system that no one mentioned it was near or in the same system as Kamino. So I wonder what that planet was then. Like, was that an old facility they used to have? I'm not really sure. That's kind of interesting. I don't really know what that place is about. But yeah, so the two Kaminoans, I'm always like mixing that up. Who is who? So Nala Se and the other one. So Nala Se she hired Fennec Shan to like protect Omega or get Omega back so that the others didn't get her. And the others hired Cad Bane to get Omega so they can use her for some experiments, apparently. Like, those pod things we saw, like, I mean, I first thought they looked like Kamino, they kind of do. But sometimes I guess you could say they do kind of look like Snoke, which I mean, like, they've lately been trying to tease, like, the origin of Snoke, like, in the Mandalorian Season 2, there was, like, stuff there that was Snoke. But this is, like, way early on. So it wouldn't really make sense for Palpatine. Why would he be cloning Snoke so early on? It makes sense if that's what that was happening in that episode of The Mandalorian. Not really here, so I'm not really sure what that was about. I'm still saying that looked like those were some Kaminoans they were doing, or something. I don't know what they were, so it was very confusing. So, yeah, so we also know, like, she's similar to Boba Fett then. She's like a Generation 1, like, from the very beginning. She's like unaltered. She's an unaltered clone like Boba. I mean, she's a unique clone like the Batch, more unique though. But she's unaltered like Boba, so she doesn't age like she doesn't age like the other clone. She ages the same way Boba does, like more normally and natural. So she's like Boba Fett's age, then I assume, and they name drop Boba Fett, and like so I assume that could tease him showing up. Who knows? I mean, there's a big possibility he could show up. Who knows? What else was I about to say now? Shoot. Yeah, so they call Boba Fett, he was designated Alpha originally before he was given the name Boba Fett. I'm pretty sure that's a reference to, like I said in the reaction, I think that's a reference to how originally in the Clone Wars they wanted to, when they were first developing the Clone Wars, they wanted to call the main clone character Alpha, but then they decided not to. Oh wait, no, there is actually, because I think there was an Alpha character named, a clone Alpha in the comics, or I think maybe there actually was... No, I'm thinking, I'm about to say, I think there actually was a clone in the actual show named Alpha, but no, that's Appa, who I'm thinking of, who was like, had like a helmet that was similar to the Avatar design, because like Dave Filoni worked on Avatar, so put a little reference there. But no, yeah, there was original, I think that's what the reference is supposed to be. Maybe I'm making a stretch there, because they originally wanted to have this character named Alpha, but then became Rex and such, so that's probably the reference. Yeah. It's a pretty good episode overall. Like, we're showing that Omega is capable on her own. I mean, we've seen that she's capable, but she's not now by herself, doesn't have the Batch at all, so she's very capable. And we're seeing more so, like, again, we saw in the first episode with Fennec Shan, but we're seeing more how, like, she's much more reasonable and understanding and more nice than, you know, something like Cad Bane about it. Like, we saw in The Mandalorian, she's much more understanding and, like, more nice when she worked with Din Djarin and Boba. You know, she's a much more like nice. Like I wouldn't say nice, but she's a bit more like not as bad as a bounty hunter. Like she's not like Cad Bane. Cad Bane's just ruthless. She's a bit more calm and understanding. She was trying to help. I mean, she was still doing it for a paycheck, but still, she was trying to help her at least somehow. So, yeah, all that stuff with Toto also was just like great. I mean, Seth Green really adds the performance every time. I find it funny that like actually that. This Toto, because it's not the same Toto that he's had from the beginning, because we know that, and chronologically, the first time Cad Bane shows up in the Clone Wars was in the Season 2 episode, where he was hired to break into the Jedi Temple to steal a holocron, and we saw in that he blows up that Toto he had back then as a distraction, so like, he's gone through a few Totos, so if I find it funny that this Toto says, oh yeah, I've worked with him for a long time, I'm like, no you haven't. He's probably just, like, setting their minds to think that, at least, so they don't, like, be annoyed about it. Like, wait, you kill us often? Like, we die very easily for you? We're just expendable? He probably does that, so, but yeah, I found that quite funny. Yeah, honestly, and we did see, I'm glad we at least saw Crosshairs briefly, you know, but I'm hopeful, I'm hopeful next episode we still see him in part of the plot, because, like, yeah. I feel like we'll have to. I mean, we're getting, like, we're at 9 episodes. We're episode 9 now, so there's, like, this is a 16-episode show, so I think there's currently, hang on, I'm doing big math in my brain right now. So there's 7 episodes left now in the show, so we're starting to wind down a bit. Like, we've already, like, hit the halfway point, or past it, so, like, Crosshair will have to start showing up more regularly. If he's not showing up more regularly, I'll be surprised, like really surprised. Unless they do a season 2 and like they have him show up more regularly then. But I'm assuming that like he has to become good again by the end of this season or show. If it only is one season, I don't know if they have more seasons planned. They possibly do. But again, I feel like we have to see more of him still as a, you know, being bad and stuff, and we haven't seen a lot of that, so he has to start becoming more prominent as it keeps going forward now with these last few episodes we have coming up. So, yeah. One thing I also wanted to say about Cad Bane in the episode, so of course, he has a new design he has that's not the same design he had in the Clone Wars. The design people point out is the same design they had for his concept art for the canceled, like, Boba Fett episode of him. So it's that same design he's going to have in that storyline. But I noticed also when he takes off his hat, there's like, of course he has that whole like mask thing around his head, but he also has like it's like big patch thing. It's like this like metal patch thing on the top of his head here. It's like it sticks out from the rest of his like mask thing he has, and like this big metal patch here. So like I'm wondering like is that like a bandage thing for like a wound on his head? Because if that is what I'm guessing is a possibility. Maybe that Boba Fett arc has happened already and he survived somehow. I mean, Dave Filoni's always said to treat a lot of those canceled storylines as canon, even though we didn't see them actually happen on screen. I mean, some can't be treated as canon. Like there was one canceled storyline involving Ahsoka. You know, she reunites with like the Jedi, like Anakin and the others and such, before Siege of Mandalore, and like she works with like Plo Koon, and like she finds this like old Sith temple underneath the Jedi temple, and like I think she was gonna not come full on face to face, but she was gonna like see like Sidious in the episode. But clearly that episode can't be canon now because like the reason Clone Wars seeing like really altered that, so it can't happen at all. But there are still some other episodes. Like there was one that was gonna involve like a very Top Gun style episode with the clones, so that one can still be canon. Yeah, they've said they kind of treat a lot of those as canon. A lot of those, like, maybe it's possible, but I doubt it. Like, would he really have that Boba Fett storyline happen off camera? I mean, maybe he could have. I don't really know. It's always possible, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see again if they do adapt that storyline and see what happens. I'm not really sure, but I don't know. That does look like a bandage on the top of his head, implying he might have already survived getting shot by Boba Fett, which that's surprising if he does survive Boba Fett, because I was always under the impression that Boba Fett like just kills him in that gunfight. Because I thought that was the idea, like Boba Fett will kill Cad Bane, that you kill the main bounty hunter of the Clone Wars era, so that's the move into Boba Fett, who's the main clone of the original trilogy era. But if he survives, if Cad Bane doesn't die, then where does it leave him going into the original trilogy era? So like I don't know. Like would they have Cad during the original trilogy era? I have no clue. I don't really know if they would or not. If he were, that'd be interesting. So I don't know. I mean, like they have that War of the Bounty Hunter storyline going on right now in the comics. I doubt I mean, there's a lot of bounty hunter characters or like related bounty hunter characters and a lot of characters showing up in that comic right now. Like we know Dirge from the original Clone Wars series from Genndy Tartakovsky. He's gonna be showing up at some point in it. And, so like maybe I don't know. I doubt they would throw Cad Bane in that comic though, because it might spoil stuff with this show possibly. I don't know if they plan on doing something with him, like killing him off. I don't know. Again, it's all up in the air. The information all up in the air. Really, what's gonna be happening with him in this show? Very confusing. So gonna have to kind of wait and see, I guess. So yeah. Overall, a very good episode. I really dug it. I really like seeing like Cad and Fennec fights, showing more how Omega is very capable on her own and such. And we're starting to get a better idea about how very special Omega is to the Kaminoans, and they want her for some kind of experiments. So that's kind of interesting. So we're gonna have to definitely learn more about that as we go forward. But yeah. But yeah, that's it for this reaction, this video. Thank you all for watching. Tell me in the comment section down below, what did you think of episode 9 of The Bad Batch? And stay tuned for next, oh no, not next week. I forgot to mention that at the start of the video. I'll edit this in at the start of the video also, quickly. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Tell me in the comment section down below, what did you think of this episode of The Bad Batch? And I was going to say stay tuned for next week's episode reaction, but no, I'm not going to be here for next week's episode reaction. It'll be out a little bit later after that. So yeah, just stay tuned for when that reaction does come out. You'll see when it comes out. So yeah, so just keep an eye out for it. So yeah, but yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys all later for the next reaction. So yeah, see y'all later. Goodbye. Hey, if you liked that video, guess what? YouTube put out a video just for you on the left. Or, if you want to take my advice, watch the most recent video on the right. Thanks for watching.